What is the first thing that you do in an eye exam?
Tell them what's going to happen.
Tell them what's going to happen. For me, visual acuity is the first thing. And the main reason for that is otherwise you'll forget it. 9 times out of 10, you will forget it. But if you do visual acuity right off the top, then you have remembered. So remember to bring your cards. There will not be anything in the room to assess visual acuity. You need to bring your cards and look at the bottom of your card. How far does your card say it has to be held? Do you have one of the ones that's 12 inches, 18 inches, and then there's some that are 6 feet? 6 feet is going to be hard to do. Okay, so if I'm going to assess, I'm going to get Abby 20 feet away from a true Snellen chart or otherwise, and I'm going to say, Abby, I want you to cover your right eye for me. Okay? Now cover it tightly, just so you can see it. And can you read the bottom line? Okay. Change. And do the same thing. Okay. You can say at some point I would do both eyes, but one at a time. You may not be asked to have somebody do the whole thing. So then the next thing you would do is inspection. And when you do an inspection on somebody in an eye exam, unlike a cranial nerve exam, you're looking at lashes and distribution of hair. You're looking at lids. Are they equal? Do you have a droopy lid? Do they look equal? You look at the lashes and you can pull down the lower lid to examine the lashes and the conjunctiva. You're looking at the puncta, which is the little drain for your, and you may palpate lacrimal glands and lacrimal ducts. And you can do this with both hands at the same time. You don't have to do one and then do the other. Just be sure that you are doing it. You do not have to invert the eyelid, but you can say that you would invert the eyelid if you were looking for some type of debris under the eyelid. If the complaint was for something along those lines. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is look at the pupils for symmetry and size. This is something that we skip sometimes because we go straight to looking at do they react to light the same way? But you want to look and see that the pupils are equal in size and they're not dilated but not constricted. They're about normal to what they need to be. Cover on cover test is something we did not do a whole lot of. I will make sure that there is a card so you can do a cover on cover test. So I'm going to make a list of what I'm saying is going to be in the rooms.
Could you use your little Snellen?
You could absolutely use your little Snellen chart, but I'll have a card in there so you already got this. So, okay, I want you to look right at me, okay? And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the uncovered eye to move back into position. The covered eye to move back into position when I uncover it. Because and you need to do that with both eyes. Okay? You'll see that a lot with kids. Very rarely do you see that. But checking for strabismus is something that you that you want to do. Okay. The next thing that I would typically do would be field of vision. So, Abby, I want you to look right at my nose and tell me how many fingers I'm talking about, okay? Okay. Be sure that you check in 4 different areas. If she made a mistake, which she did, I would cover your right eye. Now, can you tell me how many fingers? Okay, so, but the thing, if somebody messes up when you're doing this, when you're checking fields of vision bilaterally, you don't really know where the deficit is unless you have them cover one eye and then the other eye. Yes?
Are we allowed to do the red pen? Dr. Gerard showed us we use like a red cap pen so that we can stop the
There are many different ways to do this. A red top pen that works for me. If you do numbers, number of fingers, which is what Dr. Jocelyn uses. The way that people were taught here for a long, long time was tell me when you see my fingers. You can see it. So you're looking at moving fingers being easier to see.
Will
Yes.
that be accepted as well?
It's not as accurate, and so we try, but the two classes ahead of you, that's how they taught. But, and it's certainly acceptable, I think it's how I was taught too, in terms of moving fingers, and you move the field in so that you actually see when they can see it. And that, that gives you some information you don't get if you just do fingers. Okay, I think we are at the part where probably, I do one more thing. You wanted to, accommodation, extraocular movements and accommodation before you turn off the light. So, Abby, I need you to look right at my nose. Now, follow my finger with your eyes. And you want to be sure you get all the movements in all the directions. Now, convergence is not something you really have to test, but it's on your list. Follow my finger in. There you go. So our eyes go together, so you can look up. Accommodation, if you assess accommodation, cannot be done, that's not accommodation, that's convergence. So if you do an accommodation, okay, Abby, I want you to look at my finger. Now, look at Kaylee sitting over there in a nice picture. Now look back at my finger. What am I looking for? Changing pupils, and it's the ability to focus back and forth, which is not the same as convergence. Okay? So at this point, we probably need to darken the room, which we're not going to do, so that we can look at pupillary reaction. So again, you want your patient to look right at your nose, not at my, don't look at my nose, don't look at my nose, don't look at my light. And you assess direct constriction when you shine the light in. You can back off and do it again and look at consensual. Or you can switch sides and do direct again and then do consensual. So you're focusing, and you can, if you say that, it's really clear to your to whoever's proctoring your exam, your check on what you're doing. I have direct constriction, and now I have consensual constriction where you're looking at the other eye. Okay? Swinging flashlight test, you remember how to do that? Obviously, you're not going to get a reaction in any of us when you're doing it, so it's a matter of going through the motions. But it's how many seconds in between? 3 seconds in between. So that you're shining a light and switching, and then switching back, so that you're looking for that dilatation where you wouldn't expect it, but you won't see it there. I'm trying to think what else. Convergence is not something I usually look for. Okay, do we need to demonstrate an ophthalmic exam? Has anybody got an unhooked ophthalmoscope? I'll be happy to do it. If not, let me just talk you through it. Hand on the shoulder, right? Have your patient look, or you can do CAD, whichever works better for you. It really doesn't matter. Whichever's more comfortable. Doesn't that have a ophthalmoscope? It feels really funny. Okay, let me take it by hand. But I'm not going to go stand next to the wall either. We got it. Ellen's got it. So you're going to start about 12, 18, 7 meters out, however. Put it against your head so that you've got it. And you're going to come all the way in, looking for the red reflex. Once you found the red reflex, then you're going to inspect the disc, and you're going to talk about inspecting the disc and looking at your eye, looking at the vessels. The checklist calls for you to inspect the anterior chamber for cataracts. You really have to adjust your focus to do that. Nobody's going to be able to tell if you're playing with your little valve. They just say that you're doing it. If you were looking for cataracts, you'd be looking, whether it was as you approach the eye or as you backed off. But the other test that you will be asked to do, and this is all with the, that's actually on the left. I'm sorry? Okay, yes, it is. Well, what you're doing is you focus at the fundus, which is in the back of the eye. So as you back off away from the fundus or as you're going in, you adjust so that your focus is on the anterior chamber. Because well, number one, you won't get a red reflex if somebody has cataracts, because the cataracts obscures the red reflex. So that really is one way of doing it, but your checklist says, okay, let's do this. Okay. But the other thing you will be asked to do is to assess the anterior chamber, looking for a narrow angle, which is I think your checklist says you're evaluating for a glaucoma. You're not. You're evaluating the depth of the anterior chamber because if somebody has a narrow anterior chamber, their risk for narrow angle glaucoma, which is associated with a lot of medications, increases dramatically. To do that, and I've seen people do this so wrong, what you're doing is shining a light at an angle across the anterior portion of the anterior chamber, and looking to see, and you have to look from here, looking to see if there is a shadow on the iris towards the medial side. Because if it's a shallow chamber, it will throw a shadow on that other side. So when you do that, you don't look at it this way. Okay, this is not how you do this, because you can't see the shadow if you do it. You direct your light from the side, but what you're looking at is that medial, the medial part of the iris to see if there's a shadow there. And that is assessing for a shallow or a narrow anterior chamber, which on your checklist is stated as a test for glaucoma. Did I miss anything? No, this is really tough. Okay. So we got a lot of the cranial nerves when we did that. We'll let Gina Wilson be a candidate as well. Abby's trying to stand up here too. Okay, so if we are doing cranial nerve exam, we would start with cranial nerve number 1, which is smell. That will be yellowed out. I don't want to have to take the little bottles, but if you were going to do it, 2 different smells, each nostril separately, okay, to assess the ability to smell. All right. So that's cranial nerve number 1. Cranial nerve number 2 is the optic nerve. Yeah. You might set that to the end, or you might do it at this point. If you're doing a neuro, I think I would keep my head in order, and I would go ahead and look at the optic this second. So cranial nerve 1, cranial nerve 2, cranial nerve 3, 4, and 6 is what we've already done in terms of extraocular movements. Okay. On one of these tables should have the long-handled Q-tips, which will be in your.
It's all right. Oh yeah. Same here.
Okay. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You get stuck.
So if you're assessing cranial nerve 5, we're assessing for light touch and sharp and appreciation of a sharp touch in 3 distributions of that nerve. So what what you can easily do is use, can you feel this? This, this. How about this? This, this. Sharp or dull? Can you feel this? This. And you can do alternating, sharp and dull, or you can do soft touch all the way through and then go back and do light touch. But you need to do 3 distributions on each side because that's how the nerve works. What is the other test that you do for cranial nerve?
Investigation.
Like nothing more than extreme arch feeling this massive muscle, right? Anything else for 5? Oh, okay. Goes from side to side. Okay, so we've got 6, now we're down to 7, 8, 9, and so you can do all the little things that you have somebody do with your face. You wrinkle your forehead, and you shut your eyes real tight, and you show your teeth. And you can relax the other way. Can you puff out your cheeks? Okay, can you stick out your tongue? Can you say ah? And at this point, we would also check for gag reflex and elevation of the uvula. I'm not sticking them. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, can you turn your head towards my hand? Turn your other head towards my hand. Okay, and the thing that I skipped was 8, which is hearing. Which is cranial nerve 7. Say it, you don't have to do it. Any questions about that? Yes.
Do we have to do this and then resist, or can we just jump straight to resisting the shoulder shrugging?
Oh, I just told her to do it at the end of the second.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not one and then the other. I just told her to do it, to shrug her shoulders up before I put it. Okay, so that's cranial nerves. Okay, so we did partially did motor functioning with Carmen. Motor with Carmen, but you could do that again. Particularly if you were given cranial nerves and then somebody said, and now I'd like you to assess motor function. So you've already done the shoulders, so you can push arms up. Okay, one back in. Push down on my hands. Up. Then I would do the same thing with it, where you do hip flexion and then abduction. Flexion and with the lower extremity. And can you walk on your toes for me? Away from me. Turn around. And walk on your heels coming back. Yeah, I have trouble. Okay, so I know she's got good lower muscle strength. The other thing that you're going to do is reflexes. So you want to do five reflexes, 3 upper. So you're going to do brachioradialis. That's brachioradialis. Okay, brachioradialis. Tricep tendon. Don't forget tricep. Patellar and Zinsky, and check for clumps. We can do that, but that's kind of the order. That's kind of what you need to do. So you do strength, then you do reflexes. Don't forget Zinsky, and don't forget to check for clumps. Sensory. Basically, what you want arms and legs uncovered enough so that you can touch. You're going to do light touch and sharp on both upper extremities. The thing is to compare one to the other, and you're going to do proximal and distal, because when people lose sensation, they lose it. You generally will lose it distally. So if somebody couldn't feel here, you're going to have to check above that to see if that's okay. Do the same thing on the legs. Okay, so you've got all 4 extremities, proximally and distally. Makes sense? Not a whole lot else you have to do. You probably don't need to stand here because I'm talking, or just not doing do not want y'all to do.
Good job,
sorry.
Gina.
Have their eyes closed when they're doing it.
Yeah, and the other, it makes sense to have their eyes closed, particularly if you are doing, sharp and dull at the same time, because otherwise they may see, or they may look at where you're touching. Try not to do things in rhythm, like touch and 2 beats and touch and 2 beats, because people will pick it up and they will tell you that they feel it where they really don't. So you don't want to be in rhythm doing that. The other thing is that's a good place to do extinction, where you're already touching. And you can do light touch with your fingers if you want to. Just touching with your fingers works. You don't have to have a Q-tip. Easier to use a Q-tip on the face. And the sharp end of a Q-tip is perfectly adequate. And there will be long handled Q-tips and tongue blades in the room. Cerebellar, finish the sensory, sorry. So a stereognosis, which is identification of an object. Graphesthesia is writing in the hand. Put a key and a quarter in your pocket before you come into the exam. I'm not promising that I'll have keys and quarters. I did bring keys and quarters. I'm not promising I'll have keys and quarters in all the rooms. We decided we're not going to do 2-point discrimination. You need to do vibratory sense. I would do the joint of, you need to do an upper and a lower extremity. You want to get as distal as you can. I would probably do a thumb joint and a toe joint, or the end of your big toe works well too. Okay. Check for vibratory sense. Remember, they have to close their eyes if they're doing, if you're doing position sense, so up and down. If this is up and this is down, then go back to the middle, close your eyes, tell me what this is. Yeah. Autumn did a really nice job. She did all that. Yeah, she did essentially the whole exam except for ENT in less than 30 minutes with taking the history. She was the rock star yesterday in my room. Yeah. And luckily, Oksana got to experience that, which was really kind of nice. She just started out with her hand. What do you call it? Your complaint? Big toe.
Yeah, it was a big toe.
Big toe. Her complaint was the big toe, and Autumn started at the head. She did really good. Okay, that leaves us cerebellar functioning, right? What are y'all laughing at? I'm really sensitive today. Not only is my mind cerebellar functioning. Think about what you're looking for. Old brain type of functioning, which is pretty automatic and not something that you have to think about a lot. So you're going to remember when you right here, so you can stand up. Remember when you're checking Romberg on your patient, okay? That when you tell them to put their feet together and close their eyes, that you are that you're ready to catch them should they fall, because a lot of times they do. Okay. Pronator drift. Both arms up, right? And they're supposed to be able to hold it with their eyes closed. I'm not my fault. So pronator drift. Rapid alternating movement. This is the easiest thing to do. You can do this as well if you want to. This we use with kids a lot. People with ADD can do that. Little ones with ADD can do that. You want to do finger to nose, where you're looking for any kind of inability to touch or shakiness. You'll see pick up tremors doing that. Heel to knee to shin. And when you get to doing the coma scale, you not only have to ask your patient to put the heel on their knee and run it down, but when you're doing coma scale, you ask them to run it back up as well. That's not part of this test. You're just looking for any ataxia from this particular point. So Romberg, and then gait. If you have not already, if you've already If you want to do heel and toe walking at this point, you can. It requires more balance, it requires more cerebellar functioning than just walking on flat feet. But you do want to do trunk walk, the heel to toe walk. Oh, I'm sorry, arm rolling. Arm rolling can go either with motor strength or with cerebellar function. Arm rolling is actually a test. What happens is if you have damage on one side, that arm's not going to move. But it's the motor strip of the brain. But it also tends to be, because you're doing the bilateral movement, it comes through the cerebellum. So you can do it both places. When in doubt, do both. Anything else? Yes?
Are we able to do the Romberg and the pronator grip at the same time? Or do we have to do a
Oh
separate?
yeah, you can go, you can stand your patient up and have, and have them close their eyes. Don't, depending on the whole balance thing, if you're worried about somebody, you might not want them to do this at the same time that you're looking at the other. But yeah, you do one right after the other because you've got your patient in a position to do that. Okay, since this is our last time together, what do you want to know?